Hello everyone. Bonjour. Salut. Bienvenue in Midi Marielle. Welcome to Montreal by Night. Tonight's scene, well, I say tonight. Today's scene takes place in the presence of one Dr. Paul Romero, an individual whom had a rather unexpected, yet perhaps encouraging revelation recently. But there's also been a lot of other things that have been stirring around his mind. A medical professional such as himself often wishes to help others. It's in the Hippocratic Oath, something which is practiced the world over, one would presume anyway. Yes, inside he is crying because he understands that sometimes, well, sometimes you have to make decisions as a professional, as a doctor, because, not every disease is treatable. But a professional always knows when there's a chance of saving a patient. I suppose that's where we can start the scene, as Dr. Romero will guide us in his thought process and what he's endeavouring to accomplish today, because he's probably going to get some message from his assistant telling him that the results will be ready soon, but not just yet.
So he's probably, not to use a better word, but stumbling around his house like a bit of a emotional zombie right about now. He's torn between two worlds. He's, on the one hand, he wants to help those who can be helped, and on the other hand, he knows he has to probably let others go. But so far, other than Nene, he hasn't had a chance to help. And then there are these others, the first of his kind that he has found, that are very, for a better use of the word, zealous in their opinions of the afflicted, as he calls them. And then he had the revelation where he should cut out the tumor, and it brought a lot home, but still he was sharing a car which had been carjacked by one of his fellow hunters with these three zealous individuals who do not share his worldly point of view. And it all started on that fateful night when he met Ava. And so he's been stewing for a day or so over what he can do, and he realizes that he has to try and help people, and in order to do that, he needs to have these people on side. And so he wants to get a true picture of each of their mindsets and make his decision from there, because he's a man that in the last few months has lost everything and has continued to do so. And the last thing that he would theoretically lose, especially as a medical professional and someone who has a very close friend who's a psychiatrist, would know that the next thing to possibly go wrong is either his physical health or his mind. So he'll be making a coffee, and he would have sent a text message to a couple of individuals. One that he met a few nights ago, a lovely, talkative yet shy girl called Nene, and probably one of the reasons for this inner storm, inner turmoil, Ava. And he's asked them to come around. To begin with, half an hour apart. He wants Ava to turn up first so he can talk to her. And then, if Nene agrees, for her to turn up afterwards.
Okay. For Nene, I'm just going to have to roll a luck die because it's during the daylight hours, and she sends you a text message back saying that she'll be at work for most of today, but she will be available in the early afternoon.
Okay, cool. So he will say he looks forward to seeing her, hope she's doing well, hope she's not feeling too unwell, and then he will await Ava, and he will... His dining room will be completely devoid of pretty much everything, apart from 2 cups of coffee, and he'll be sat in one chair. His front door will be open, and he'll just be ready for Ava to come in and sit at the table.
She gets the text and she's not got anything on, so she just makes her way to his house, knocks a couple of times and lets herself in, and takes a seat at the table. She slumps down in the chair and just looks at him. Sup, Doc?
He is... obviously, Ava knows that he's got a bit of a quirky personality, should we say, but today there's something different about him. He's much colder, much more calculated in the way he's coming across, and he's just a bit like you might expect, for a better use of a description, from someone who's got a lot in their mind, is considering a lot of things, and is trying to deduce how this very situation is going to transpire, and he will pull out from the bladed end. By the way, he's not just pulling out this knife. He pulls out one of his kitchen knives from the blade so that he's not going to stab anyone. Puts it down in the middle of the table, and then he'll look at Ava.
When she sees him put the knife on the table, she'd sit up straight. She's kind of more tense now, watching his actions carefully, her eyes slightly narrowed. You feeling okay, Doc? You look a bit rough.
I have not slept. I have a question.
She
And it's
raised
a
an
yes
eyebrow.
or no question. And I want you to answer it.
Sure, shoot.
Say we were sat here at this table, me and you, 2 enlightened individuals, and my wife and daughter walked in, and they were afflicted. What would you do? Would you kill them?
She pauses for a minute, eyeing him suspiciously. She has an idea where she thinks this is going, but she's not certain. Shrug. We made a deal, so I mean, I said you could try to do your thing first, but she just leaves the butt hanging.
What if one of them, in their sickness, went for us?
Well, then I'd have to do what I had to do, you know?
His eyes narrow, and you can see, if you could see the vein in the side of his head, it would probably be pulsing. And he looks at the knife, and then he looks back to Ava, and he's like, And what would that be?
She sees how wound up he's getting and kind of
Okay.
puts her hands up in a kind of defensive gesture. Says, "Look, Doc, you need to chill. You know what I'm about. If
He'll
these
slam
things,
his fist down on the table and say, "Don't tell me to chill. What would you do? What would the father do? What do you think Momo would do?"
if they attacked any of us, I think we'd put them down." She'd shrug. "Sorry, that's just how it is."
He's going to go for the knife.
She would stand up as she saw him move, and
He'd stand up as well.
if possible, she'd move around so that she's behind the chair she was sitting in, so that the chair's between them. And she would put her hands up again and be like, "Doc, there's no need for this. We can talk this through. We don't have to agree on everything."
He will. Let me just. For my own mental, I'm just going to roll my willpower. Okay, that's good. So he will noticeably close his eyes for a minute, and then he will open them. He's still pointing the knife at Ava. And he will just, there'll be a moment there where he's just kind of, for better use of a word, staring at her intently.
She'd be matching his stare, and she'd just say, "Look, Doc, you need to put that fucking thing down before you hurt someone, or someone hurts you. We're meant to be in this together. You say you want to help people, yet you turn on your own kind. What kind of fucking doctor are you?"
You say you want to help people, but you'll just kill them when they're sick.
Yeah.
I can't abide by that.
Exactly. You said the exact right words. I want to help people. These things, they're not people anymore.
How do you know? Do you have scientific proof?
People don't eat people. Monsters
That is
eat
incorrect.
people.
In Brazil, in the 1920s, there was an aggressive skin disease, started eating away people's flesh, and other people infected with said disease would eat the others. Would you kill them too? The same could be said of a disease that was passed on pirate ships in the 1700s. A disease that used to make men crazy, used to make men attack other men. Would you say you would kill them too?
If they were threatening the rest of us, then hell yeah, I would.
You wouldn't give them a chance to be healed. You wouldn't try and restrain them so they could be brought to a hospital and be treated.
I'm going to look out for myself and any normal people I can protect in the process. They're the people you should be trying to help, not these monsters. There are people that can actually be helped out there. I think you're just looking at this whole thing the wrong way.
Monsters aren't born, they're created. And like most things that are created, probably in a lab. And most things that are created can be reversed.
She'd shrug. "Well, I don't see you having any proof of that. All I know is these things aren't good. They need to be dealt with."
Then you are no more a monster than they.
She just has a kind of so be it expression. But I thought we had this deal. You get to try it your way. That doesn't work. I get to do it my way. What's changed all of a sudden?
Because when surrounded by others, you're different, Ava. And I don't trust that you'll give me a chance to do it my way.
Well, me and Tomoko and the father, we had a little chat. We all agreed that you could have first crack at it, see if you could do anything. And if not, then we'd step in.
What about Momo?
He wasn't there. I don't know what he thinks, but I'm sure he'd be willing to let you have your try. But this, and she gestures to the knife, this is fucking stupid, man.
You just stare at her for a moment. And how much you can see he's now, it seems to be fighting back some. He's trying to remain angry, but he's also not hiding the fact that he's fighting back some sorrow. And he will turn and say, how long will you give me to do my thing? Because words don't cure diseases. Time and research does.
She think for a moment because she diffused the situation, but at the same time, she's not going to outright lie to him. And then she'd just think, oh, fuck it, basically, and just say, look, we agreed you could have one crack, one shot. That don't work, then it's on.
He will close his eyes, mutter his daughter's name, say sorry, and then lunge.
She would attempt to dodge his lunge.
You should probably roll initiative.
Yes, that is an idea.
Okay. Which is D10 wits and
1d10 wits plus dexterity.
Right.
Put that into the tally.
I'm so going to beat you because I'm so good at this.
Okay, 11.
yeah.
Sorry, my Firefox decided to close my character sheet after it all disappeared. I'm pretty sure it's just like 4, but I'll double check. Yeah. Right, so it's 1d10 plus 4. Right. So it's Dex plus melee. Look out for this amazing dice ball.
Okay.
Sorry, I need to maintain a sense of decorum. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah. Uh, would you like to describe what happens, or should I?
I'm quite happy if you're willing to give me a shot. I'm quite happy to completely
Hey,
screw myself over.
Go ahead, man. It's probably going to be than what I was going to say.
So he's crying. He sums himself up. He's ready. He's going to do this. He's going to deal with the monster in front of him. And he lunges, and Ava doesn't even need to take a step to the side. He catches his foot on the chair that she was previously stood behind. The knife embeds itself in his beautifully painted dining room wall, and he barrels into the wall with quite some force. And there's a noticeable grunt of pain.
She'd watch his attempt at an attack. And there's part of her
Serious
that
fight scene. There we laugh.
there's part of her that's really pissed off that he'd even try that. But there's another part that's kind of amused at his ineptitude. But still, she's just, he attempted to attack her. She'd take the knife out of the wall where it's stuck in the wall, and
Right, it's embedded in there, so I'm going to have to ask you to do a strength check if you want to try and pull it out.
okay, what's that? Strength and
I think it's straight strength.
oh, that's not good.
You'll probably only be, yeah, you probably might. Hang on, it's embedded in the walls, and it's, yeah, I imagine that you'd only need like one success just to pull it straight out.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No, I'll say as a dramatic point. You try and pull it in, it's like Dr. Romero probably doesn't weigh, you know, all that much. Maybe I'm assuming.
Yeah, he
But
doesn't weigh that
somehow
much at
he's
all.
embedded it in there to the point where you feel that you probably might need to like knock the wall out just to get it in there. It's so fucking embedded in it. It's not coming out, or at least not without. Yeah, there's a big fight scene ever.
She gives the knife a tug and realizes that it's deeply embedded in there, and which just adds to her frustration. And she just looks at him like with her arms outspread, going, "What the fuck, Doc? What are you doing?"
For his turn, he will probably then attempt to rugby tackle her. It's Dex plus Brawl, isn't it?
That would be for a tackle. That would be a tackle. Would be strength plus brawl, difficulty of 7.
That's the same dice pool, I think. Yeah, same dice pool. Here we go. Well, I didn't botch, so that's good. Yep. I just failed.
Mm-hmm. Neighbor?
So he, what does he go to?
He tried to tackle you and he missed.
But I'm still on my feet because I didn't completely screw up this time like the knife incident.
She'd take a step back away from him, and her eyes are narrowed now, and she's like, "You fucking fool," and takes one of the knives from underneath her jacket and just like stands there in a defensive posture with the knife in front of her. "You don't want to do this, Doc. Seriously, you don't want to do this."
Okay. That looked nice. I rolled. They looked nice. I rolled. Well, something will happen at this point. The two of you hear this, right? This whisper rising in. Actually, no. two of you catch something else. It's one of these. Well, it's in the dining room, right?
Mhm.
There's presumably going to be one of those banner type things. I'm trying to think of the exact wording for them.
He's probably got paintings in there.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to like take our storyteller liberty and saying one of these paintings actually does have like some writing on it or whatnot.
That's fair.
The two of you, yeah, okay. The two of you catch a glimpse of this this writing out the corner of your eye. You actually see it move.
Ava flicks her
And,
attention between the painting and the doctor, not wanting to take her eyes off him for too long, but noticing the change in this picture.
He will replicate that point, whilst also kind of not looking at his side. He's looking between the painting and looking between Ava, whilst also fumbling around for something like a lamp or a spatula.
The wording on this painting, which you've seen at times before, you know exactly the reason why you bought it. Now the wording on the painting seems to have changed to something like "Ascend from darkness."
If you would try and read it out.
I guess my accent was terrible.
He'll look at it, and he'll look back to Ava, and he will like shout. I can't shout because it'll make me feel sick, but he would shout, "See, you need to change. You need to rise from your darkness. Stop killing everyone just because they're different."
She'd sneer at him and say, "That's not what it means. Don't you think it's talking about you? Turning on your own kind? You fucking idiot."
You're not my kind. You think it's about me? I'm trying to do the right thing. Trying to protect those sick people out there from the sick people like you who just want to kill them.
Yeah, kill them, not the people I should be working alongside. She's looking at him with like absolute dislike and anger now. She's just like, what the fuck?
He's let me roll a luck. Let me roll some luck. Rolled higher or lower? Higher. Okay, good. Right. So he will be still fumbling around for something weighty. When he realizes there isn't anything, he's he'll point towards the dining room window, and he will exclaim, "Shit!" And then we'll see how good my bluff check is. Which is brilliant because I don't have any subterfuge, so it's just my manipulation. Yay!
Yes, as we discovered in your scene.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
And here we go. Oh, so close! Nearly got a success.
Nearly.
And then he will charge her. Obviously, it's not going to have the desired effect.
So when she would just look at him like with a flash of confusion on her face when he shouts, and then get as ready as she can be when he charges at her.
Well, at least I got a success on my charge.
Okay. So
It's more like a fight scene from Coronation Street than it is from any kind of epic movie.
yeah.
So what? He runs up to her.
He's trying to do a tackle attack.
Rugby tackle again.
Okay.
It's to get her off her feet. It's the most he knows about fighting.
Yeah. So it's up to you. Do you want to? What do you want to do?
Grabs her. She's not actually going to try to stab him or anything, but she tried to bring the hilt of the knife down, kind of in her fist, on like on the back of his head as he comes in to grab her.
Oh, so she basically wants to attack. She wants to attack, hit him as he's coming in. You know, taking the full force of the hit.
Club, yeah. Take the full force hit. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What do I roll for my?
So, what do I roll for that? Is
It's my
that
strength for damage, isn't it?
Yeah, you're gonna roll your strength for the damage, and okay. 0. Okay. Yeah, he tries to rugby tackle you, but there's not a lot of weight behind him. All right. So if you're trying to hit him, you know, basically brain him with the club of the knife, that will be Dex melee. And you're aiming for the head, so that's +2 to the diff. Alright, so this will be diff 7.
that's 3 successes. Can I use my? I can't use my specialty knives if I'm not using the blade, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would assume so. So yeah, 3 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. So just clear your dice. Then it's strength +2 for the successes, +1 for the head, and then I'll just say plus another 1 for the because you're using a blunt instrument.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Damn. Okay. Let's see the soak from Dr. Romero.
Which, based on my rolls this evening, this afternoon, is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I soak 1 at least.
Okay. Yep. You take. Well, technically, you should take lethal, but it's kind of like the skull bashing part. So yeah, you take 2. Take 2 bashing from that, and
2 bashing. Cool. Take a bashing to the face. Just make a note of that.
yes, 2 bashing.
Ouch. That makes my combat dice pools so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Superb. So he will obviously get hit in the face. He will exclaim in his best Australian accent, "Fuck." And he will attempt to wrestle the knife from her.
Okay, disarm would be Dex plus melee to difficulty of 7.
-1 dice because I'm injured.
Yes.
I will spend a willpower point to ignore my wound penalties for this turn.
Okay.
And then
That's 2 successes. Okay. You need to roll your damage, which is your strength +1. You will need to exceed Ava's, believe her strength after soaking.
Lol. So much victory.
Okay. Okay, Ava, roll your stamina to soak.
Nope.
Right, you get one. That's one bashing damage. That's unfortunately not enough to properly disarm the knife. Manipulation again.
Yeah, he's going to give it again. This time, he won't spend willpower.
Yep. You know.
It's amazing.
All right. You try to go for the knife, and you inadvertently grasp hold onto the blade.
Yes!
So now your hands are have a very nasty gash on them.
I will use blood magic. Oh, damn it, it's not mage, is it? Bollocks.
So yeah, that's a point of lethal. Unfortunately.
Well, it's alright, I'm with the
Shape of
doctor.
your
It's
hands
fine.
being. Yeah, yes, you're a doctor. You're a doctor. You're not that kind of doctor, technically.
No.
Yeah. Ava is she's really pissed now. She's like, this has gone far enough. So he's standing like right there in front of her.
Yeah. Yeah, he tried to get your knife again, but he ended up grabbing onto the blade and cutting his hands.
She yeah, she doesn't really want to try to kill him though. No, she would kind of draw the knife back, preparing to attack, and just try one more time and just say, I didn't want it to happen like this, Doc. Stop now. Back the fuck off.
Do you want to make that an intimidation check?
She has no intimidation whatsoever.
All right. All right. Is she trying to intimidate him, reason with him, or?
No, yeah, she's just trying to give it one more shot before she tries to put an end to this. She doesn't really want it to end that way, so she's just giving him one last out.
Okay. What do you want? Just for dramatic sake, in this, what would you prefer to roll with this?
How street are you being?
I mean, yeah, she's
just thought of a different way to look at it, to be fair.
How about empathy? Can I?
Yeah, you could use empathy if you'd like.
You want to align with him? Mm.
What would I roll with empathy?
You can either roll. Well, I'm imagining with your social dice, it's going to be a dice roll, pretty much the same dice roll either way.
Right. Okay. So that's going to be 4.
Yeah.
Is this versus willpower, or is it versus another social dice pool? I can never remember with socials.
I always considered it to be like versus willpower, but you could always make it like contested with the socials if you'd like. So if it makes it easier.
2 successes.
Okay.
2 successes. Willpower is 6 at the moment because I've spent 1. So, ow! Oh, I'm actually bleeding. That's weird. Ugh, that's really weird. It's on my hand as well.
What, legitimate? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
like legitimately. The hell's done that? Bet it was my cat. Fucking ninja in me. 2 successes.
Okay, so I suppose in this case, you recognise I'd say it's really up to you. I don't want to take over anyone's character. That you can recognise them. I suppose you can, at this point, you can recognise that despite, the differences between the two of you, Ava does have some level of restraint. I mean, she hasn't, completely.
Killed me.
Yes, she hasn't. She hasn't gone, fucking. She hasn't tried to give you a get-erectomy. Even though probably by your assumption, she probably would have.
Yeah.
From the moment that you tried to stab her and embedded the knife in the wall. It just depends how. Yep.
How old Romero is here? He gets one chance. There will be a moment where there's a pause, because rather than just thinking about this out of character, he's probably thinking about it in character as well. So he's there, blood dripping from his hands, and he's just staring at Ava. She's obviously gone back with the knife and said what she said. Right, that's what. He will take a step back, turn around. He's grunting at this point, and his fists are clenched to obviously put pressure on his now cut palms. And he'll turn around.
Him, but
Do you want
keeps
to kill me?
Yeah, she keeps the knife poised in front of her, and her face is angry. Now, fuck yes, I want to kill you. But we're
And
not
if I was
supposed
a
to be.
monster?
What? Yeah, goes without saying. But we're not supposed to be killing each other.
But you won't ascend from the darkness.
The
You see his
frustration.
fists are clenching, and he's just kind of wiping the blood on his already bloody pajamas.
Yeah, the frustration in her would be incredibly evident.
This room is very tense right now.
She'd just shake her head.
Cut the tension with a knife. Yes. It's usually not a good idea to be in a room with a lot of tense people and taking out a knife, though, in my experience, anyway.
No, that's very true.
It ruins the atmosphere.
Unless you're a serial killer, that's quite good.
Yes. Yes.
Unless it's not your preferred method, then it's probably not that good. It's probably just pointless. But we digress. Yes. Anyway, let's get back to the scene.
Digress.
She just look at him, shrug, and just say, "Look, Doc, I ain't gonna change."
And neither am I. And then he will charge her again.
Then she's gonna use more force this time. She'd attempt to let him run onto the knife.
I'm going to spend a point of willpower to avoid my wound penalties for this turn, because, his hands are ablaze of blood. That's a thing, honestly. And get one success.
For the tackle or something else?
He's running up to her to headbutt her this time, because the tackling hasn't gone very well.
All right, so That's a strike, yes. So it's one hit to the head. So, okay. Doing the Yatsushi Onita special. Right, that would be strength plus 1 to the head. Damn. Okay. Ava, roll your soak. Unless you're committing an action.
That's my stamina, isn't it?
Yeah, your stamina.
And
Well, she takes 1. It's 1 bashing damage. Okay. Well.
So he headbutts her.
Yes, he headbutts her. It fucking hurts. You probably been hit worse.
Yes.
You're from the street. This is a doctor, not Gangland Mike.
Still, she'd be stunned for a minute and shake her head, and then she'd just be like, "Fuck it," and she'd lunge for him with the knife. She's had enough now.
Right. That'd be Dex melee.
One, 2, 3, and I've got my specialty knives. So that's 4, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure I went all out as well, so I can't dodge either, can I? Oh, who cares? I can't dodge anyway.
Well, you could with athletics.
Oh yeah, I could with athletics. Yeah, I've got athletics. I forgot about that. I do have some athletics, but I went all out. So
Okay, so that's 4, right?
Yeah, that's 4 successes. That'll be strength plus 1 plus 3.
So that's 6. That's 2, right?
Yep, that's 2 levels of lethal damage, which the doctor cannot soak. And I believe he's already taken, with this, that's 5 health levels, 3 lethal,
yes,
2
it is.
bashing. Okay. So yeah, you get shanked, Doc.
I've been shanked.
Yep.
Yeah.
He will obviously very dramatically realise that he's been shanked. He's on mauled now, isn't he? I haven't got a character sheet to hand, so I can't.
Yeah, he's mauled, so it's -2.
-2. He will. He's only got one chance here to not get stabbed again, so he's going to attempt to wrestle the knight away, and he will spend a willpower point to avoid wound penalty.
Okay. He gets 1. So that's straight strength.
Straight strength.
Yep.
I'm.
Okay. Well, what's Ava going to do?
So he tries to take the knife off her?
He tried to take the knife. is unsuccessful.
I mean, he's already pretty wounded by this stage. So
Yeah, he's going to have to take he's going to have to take a hospital visit.
yeah,
I mean, he's bleeding from the hands. He's bleeding from the gaping
Gut
puncture wound
wound.
that you've put into his midsection.
yeah. I don't think she'd. Well, maybe I don't know. She would stab him again, or she would just try to kind of put him down. Him square in the face. With the fist that's still round the knife.
Okay, that would be. Oh, you're actually hitting him with the knife, or you're trying to punch him, or hit him with a fist?
She's got her fist around the hilt of the knife, and she's just gonna slam it into his face.
All right, so she's going to brain him with the skull crusher thing. Then, all right, in that case, it's Dex melee. Make this difficulty 7.
Is the disarm an all out, or can I dodge this one?
Yeah, a disarm is all out.
Yeah, figured it was. Just wanted to check. Not that I could dodge that, but you know.
Yeah.
Yep, 4 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Roll strength +1 for the head, +1 for the melee for the weapon strike, and +3 dice for the successes.
So that's 7. That's just 1. Yeah, just 1 success.
I'm seeing 2 successes there.
Sorry, how many?
I'm seeing 2 successes. You've got a 6, a 10, and an 8.
Oh, okay. I thought difficulty was 7. Okay, yeah, then 2.
Yeah, I thought difficulty was 7 as well.
It's a damage. Oh, sorry. Is that?
Oh,
the
yeah,
attack
it's damage roll. No, that's the damage roll. That is the damage roll.
Oh, yeah, that's a damage roll. So that's 2 successes. Was that soak that you were just rolling? Good sir.
Yes, it was. Yes, look at my amazing soak dice.
Yes. All right. Okay. For dramatic cases, Ava probably has a pang of conscience, and the last thing that Dr. Romero sees is the blunt side of Ava's knife, well, the handle, as it were, coming towards his face. He's
my
not
beautiful
dead.
face.
Yes. Ava will see Dr.
I'm
Romero.
dying painfully, but I'm not dead.
Let me. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ava will. Dr. Romero will slump down into Ava's grasp. He's still bleeding from the hands and from the gut. So yeah. What are we going to do now, Miss Dalton?
She'd kind of.
He has 3. Well, actually, would you like to roll? Hang on, do you have yeah, you do have medicine. Would you like to give me a? Well, it's going to be the same dice ball. A mental attribute intelligence check. I'm saying that because it could be.
So what do I roll?
Street
Intelligence.
medicine.
3. You're going to roll 3 dice for this.
Yeah. So intelligence medicine. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. That's
3
nice.
You're better doctor than I am.
Despite the fact that you've stabbed him in the gut, and his hands have been sliced open, and despite the concussion that you've likely given him, you know that this wound is survivable. He is bleeding quite profusely, but you know that he's probably got at least, if you give him first aid, or you get him to a doctor, or get someone to assist you in this, then he likely will survive. However, if you just leave him as he is, especially now that he's been knocked out, he's not likely going to survive.
She'd stand over him for a minute. She's kind of torn, and as she does so, she'd wipe the blood off the knife on his pajamas and put it back in. Put the knife back, and then she walks away, leaves the house. But as she's going, she'd take out a cell phone and dial emergency services. Is it 911 in Canada? I don't know. But anyway, she'd
Yeah, I think it is 911.
yeah,
It is 911 in Canada.
and she'd dial 911 and just say ambulance, give the address, not give any other details, and then just hang up, not give a name or anything, and carry on walking.
I know it's
Okay.
112 in Canada.
Wow. That is
Okay,
that
112
just goes to-
112 in special places, and then 911 in others. Random.
Yeah, that is random. That's backward. No wonder Canada's known as Bizarro World. Lucky for you, Doctor. I'm going to go out on a limb in this and say that, well, where exactly? Let me put this into like a proper narrative. Ava, where exactly do you go after the you've called the ambulance?
She'd head straight home.
Mm-hmm. So she won't be sticking around to see if the ambulance does get there or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
She at this point she's just like, yeah, I've done enough to assuage my conscience. Whatever happens now is on him. I've done what I can.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a perfect time to end the scene in that case. This has been a rather unexpected turn of events, ladies and gentlemen. But for a grieving father who thought that he was, yes, the best fight scene ever. For a grieving father that thought he was doing the right thing by trying to kill what he perceived to be a monster, and this said monster choosing not to take his life, well, monsters aren't born, they're created. It's probably just as apt a description as any. So, will these two imbued ascend from darkness? I suppose we'll find out next time, won't we? So, we thank you all for playing, we thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you all again very, very soon. Au revoir, Madame et Monsieur.